relax, and catch up on the happenings around the league. It's the Elite Wire with Bradley.
Yo, what is up, Madden Elite? Bradley here. We are at it with another edition of The Wire. It is currently a little bit prior to me hopping on to film this. We have advanced to week number 17 of season number 5. Week 17 is always a short advance for us. Our next advance will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then we will be in our 5th and final playoff run of this cycle. And then we'll have a little bit of downtime prior to the launch of next cycle. And while we're going into a little bit of downtime, we still have some media projects in the works. Right off the bat, some things to look forward to. Between the cycles, we will have the team reveal project coming. We got a fun project lined up for that involving the cards that I've discussed with all of you guys through DMs. If you've not gotten me what I need for that, please get that to me. There's still a good portion of you guys that have not got that into me, and we're kind of at a standstill without it. Like, transparency, I had planned to have the project wrapped up and done by today, but y'all are being bums, so quit being bums. Additionally, on top of the team reveal project, we've got a handful of interviews lined up. I believe I'll be sitting down with Jeff maybe this week or sometime next week, and it will be one of the episodes of The Wire between the cycles. And if any of you listening to this are interested in hopping in, sitting down, and chatting with me a little bit, let's make that happen. We've got like 2 months of crap of downtime to like film stuff for, so like we need stuff. I need stuff to talk about. Okay, so I need you guys to be like, yo Brad, let's talk. So let's make it happen. I've already got one filmed, but I've got some interviews lined up with some community leaders outside of Madden Elite. So that will be coming. Those will probably be posted in July. So, and one of them's already filmed. I'm really excited about it. And speaking of filming stuff with people outside of Madden Elite, if you did not check it out, our league was featured on the League Crawler podcast, this past week. So, if you've not seen that, quit being a bum. Go check it out and leave it a like and a comment and subscribe to the League Crawler YouTube channel. And if you don't do that here, why not? So I think what I'm supposed to say is hit the subscribe button, and then I think there's something about a bell that you're supposed to hit, and then you want to give a thumbs up. But if you want to give a thumbs down, you can do that too, because the thumbs down and the thumbs up, it does the same thing for the algorithm. Like probably about a year ago, there were some people, every time I made a video, they always like clockwork, within like minutes of it being released, they would thumbs down that, and I was super grateful for it because they're helping me with the algorithm. So if you want to set that bell notification icon, if you want to click that, go ahead and click it, and in the moment the video drops, if you want to be like boom, thumbs down, do it. I support this. Let's do this. Okay. But yeah, we've got some fun stuff in the pipes. Speaking of fun stuff in the pipes, EA has dropped a lot of info for Madden 22, and I want to kind of like, a lot of news is coming out. We're going to be getting a lot more news on franchise in the, I think like next week or something, or there's going to be a week and we're supposed to get a crap ton of franchise news. I don't know what more news there can be, because I'm already overwhelmed with all the news. I want to kind of take a moment and just kind of talk about my first impressions for what we're hearing. Okay, what we're hearing regarding the next Madden, right? And you've probably seen these screenshots, but there are 2 screenshots that we need to look at. This one and this one. These 2 screenshots here, it is nothing but news centered on franchise. we've been hearing that franchise was going to be a focus going into this coming Madden, and a lot of people have been like super optimistic about it. They've been holding their breath about it, uncertain of how like that's really going to go. Like we've been told before that like CFM is going to get love and treatment, and then the game comes out and nothing. And CFM has been a lot of nothing for quite some time. So like I don't think a lot of people had high expectations. And I think as this news is coming out, expectations have been far exceeded. And as far as my first impressions, I've got 3 things that come to mind when I think about my first impressions for everything that we're hearing for this coming Madden. Number 1, the CFM community. This is what we've been asking for. It is easy, I think, for us to fall into the mindset of screw EA, you know what I mean? And like I've heard like negative reviews of like the beta and the news that is coming out, and all I can think to myself is this is what we've been asking for years. And I'm convinced these people that are just like spewing out negativity regarding the news we've been given and like what we're seeing, I'm convinced that these people are just being negative for the sake of being negative, right? Legitimately, those screenshots that I put up, these screenshots here, right? You can find videos of people talking about all of the things on this that is going to be new to CFM, videos that run like an hour long of people just talking about details from all of these. And we haven't even got to like the CFM reveal week. This is just like the teaser trailer, all of the news we're getting. All of the news that is being centered around CFM right now, it's overwhelming. Like I'm like struggling to take it all in. And like I doubt anyone from EA would ever see this video, right? But if anyone from EA did see it, I want to say thank you. On behalf of Madden Elite, on behalf of the CFM community, thank you. Okay, I'm excited about this. I can't wait to see how it's all going to come up. I do have a concern. And really my main concern right now, it's not really a concern, it's just something in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, we might have to navigate this. And that's the whole scouting update. We've been told there is going to be a massive scouting overhaul coming to the game in September. A massive scouting update. And sounds pretty sweet. Sounds like you're going to have like regional scouts and stuff, and you can like activate your scouts in certain areas to bring in information on players in certain areas. I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to work out, but it sounds cool. Okay. My concern though is I'm having flashbacks to Madden 20. In Madden 20, at the launch of the game, O-line, the offensive line did not have abilities, right? And then in September, they did an update that gave offensive line players abilities. The thing about it, though, all of the leagues that were made prior to the introduction of offensive line abilities, all of those leagues, none of them had the offensive line abilities added to them, and the leagues that had already started had to reboot if they wanted the offensive line abilities. So like I don't know if this scouting thing is going to be a situation like that. It sounds like it's going to be September, so I'm assuming it's going to be like the big September update that happens usually before the launch of the NFL regular season. And the launch of the NFL regular season is when we are aiming to start our next cycle. So we should be good. I would, if they're slow in getting that out, I would be super hesitant about starting before that update. And like it's probably just being like overly concerned for the sake of being overly concerned. I do that a lot because when I look at all the updates that we got in CFM last year, which was mainly like administration side things, I believe. When those were added in all of the leagues, it affected them all. So it wasn't like, here's this update, everybody before this update you're screwed. So hopefully we don't have something like that with this update, because that would be bad. No bueno. When a league has to restart, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. Though some leagues like to restart. Like Julian's league, I think they've restarted like a dozen times. Me personally, like I don't like restarting. I want my team, I want to screw my team up, and I want to deal with the consequences. Okay, unless I can get my team to Gaming Powerhouse and then get the overpowered Saints. That sounds like a good deal to me. Speaking of Gaming Powerhouse, right? Gaming Powerhouse recently had an interesting game with Jeff. And he lost. Gaming Powerhouse, how do you lose to Jeff? I'm joking. Jeff's not that bad, unless he's playing me, because I own Jeff. Jeff and Max are an exclusive club, okay? If you take Jeff and Max and you grab their foot and look on the bottom of their foot, it'll say Bradley on it, you know, like Woody in Toy Story, how when you look at the bottom of his foot, it says Andy because he's owned by Andy. Max and Jeff are owned by me. So if you look at the bottom of their foot, it'll say Bradley on it because I own them. However, GPH recently lost to Jeff. In the game, though, I want to talk, right? I want to talk about something. I want to talk about something. This is very important. In the game, GPH was raging like GPH does because it's what GPH does. And it's really entertaining. It's really entertaining. I think next cycle, I'm probably going to go through and just clip all of GPH's rage moments from his game. And then at the end of like every regular season, we'll have a GPH rage compilation. I can't say that word, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll have that. And it'll be pretty cool. But GPH was raging, and GPH is like, man, this guy's calling the same play over and over and over. He's using the same stuff over and over and over. He's like, they got on me for doing that. Why ain't they getting on this guy? And GPH was feeling a little bit like singled out and called out. I want to take a moment to say that nobody other than Zell, have I maliciously attacked on this show for the sake of maliciously attacking. Oh, and Jeff. Other than Jeff and Zell, there's nobody I've maliciously attacked on this show for the sake of maliciously attacking on this show. Like, things are brought to my attention and then I'll address them. The thing about it, though, a lot of times there's bullcrap that happens and like nobody says anything because snitches get stitches, right? Like that's usually what it is. Like there are guys in this league that feel like there are guys in this league that do cheesy crap and they don't say anything. They just bite their tongue and they play their games. Listen, if you don't say nothing, nothing can be done. So like if you see cheesy crap, you tell me and I'll talk about it, okay? GPH, when I called you out, right? When I called you out for like running the same stuff over and over and over, the reason why I called you out was because people were like, yo, Brad, check this out. Okay? And I haven't had no one say to me, yo, Brad, check out Jeff, he's running the same thing over and over and over. But now that you're bringing it to my attention, I'm going to say to Jeff what I said to GPH. Listen, man, the rules say, Jeff, the rules say that you need to mix things up, okay? And now, Jeff, you need to understand something. GPH feels like you're not mixing it up. So what I need you to do, Jeff, I need you to make every effort to mix up your play call. And like I said, when I talked to GPH about this a few weeks ago, it is easy to fall into like the rabbit hole of like going to what you're comfortable with. But I want to challenge you, Jeff, like I challenged GPH. Expand your playbook. Grow and do more. Expand your offense, okay? Expand your defense. Expand your repertoire. Don't fall into the trap of just doing the same thing over and over. It's easy to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I would like to compliment GPH, because in the aftermath of that game, right, or in the aftermath of me calling him out, let's see. In the aftermath of me calling him out, let's take a look at his schedule. Ooh, Daddy League's glitching. Where is it at? Where is it at? Okay. Here it is. Look at this. Look at this. So it was the week 11 game that I called GPH out on, right? So he won that game 7-4. I don't know why his opponent would be all salty following that game. Wait, was that the game? No. It was week number 7 when I called GPH out. It was week number 7 when I called him out. And now look at all of GPH's games following week number 7, right? So he plays Alex, and he beats Alex 24-21. GPH, Alex has been to a bowl, and you beat him 24-21. And then he goes on to lose to Bread. That was super entertaining. If you weren't in chat for that, you really missed that. And then following that, he beats me 7-24. There was some cheesy crap that went down. Okay, there was a glitch. There was a glitch play that GPH scored on glitch. But it's fine. It's fine. Like, it wasn't his fault. Madden just is dumb sometimes. Okay, and then after that, he beats Bossman. And then he beats Wise, but I think that was a sim win. But then he goes on to kill Cobra, 41-14. Then he loses to Jew, and then he loses to Jeff. But in the mix of this stretch, there are 2 games that massively stick out. Number 1, the Alex game. He beats Alex 24-21. And then he goes on in week 14 to slaughter Cobra 41-14. Talking with him in the aftermath of this, it sounds like he went out of his way to massively mix up what he was doing in that game. And look what happened. 41-14. Cobra's not been to a bowl. He's had some down seasons. He's had some up seasons. But Cobra's a guy that has basically won bowls basically in every league he has been in. So these are 2 monster wins from GPH in the aftermath of him being called out for not mixing things up. And it sounds like he's made the effort to mix things up in the aftermath of that. So major props to GPH. I would be curious to hear where everybody ranks GPH at with expectations going into next cycle. We're going to talk a moment about that, though, about my expectations. So, that was a massive rabbit trail there. Going back, the Madden 22 kind of like my first impressions. There is one more thing I want to hit on for that before we move on. And I've heard people talk about how it feels like all of this CFM stuff is just a rehash from the NCAA football game. A lot of the features are similar from it, and a lot of the features were in that. But I would respond to that. Like, I've heard people be like, oh, this is just a rehash of NCAA. It's kind of like a negative thing. I would respond to that. Is it a negative thing? Like, that last NCAA game was probably, like, I would say that was a top 3 football game of all time. And for them to be taking things that made that game great and add it to CFM, that's a win. Why reinvent the wheel if there's already a successful wheel that you can take and implement? So I'm excited. I don't think bringing back these features that were seen in NCAA is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. However, let's move on from that. We need to take a moment, right? We need to take a moment and have a moment of silence for Wise and Intellect. So please, everyone, shh, silence. Now that the moment of silence has passed, we've been telling people, finish strong. Finish strong. Get your games in. This is the last season of the cycle, right? And a lot of, like, it's hard. I know a lot of times once people are out to stay invested in the last season. However, like, that is the expectation. And, like, if you're not going to stay invested, we have like 20 plus people on the waiting list. So, as we advance to week number 17, Wise and Intellect, well, they're no longer here. So, yeah. There are also some other people that have been slacking. And I want to say I'm very disappointed with certain people right now. I'm very disappointed with certain people right now. I actually, earlier in the week, I lobbied to remove like 7 people. I was like, yo, all of these guys, let's get rid of them all. Let's get rid of these 7 guys and bring in new people. These 7 guys ain't taking things serious. Let's bring in new people that will take things serious. My lobby of removing 7 people was declined. However, it was actually accepted, but there was like asterisks by it because I was like, yo, we're about to get a bunch of CFM news and it might go crossplay. If it goes crossplay, I need some space to bring in some Xbox guys. And these guys here, like they've had advances where they made no attempt in scheduling games. This guy here, no showed a guy like let's boot them all if we go crossplay, and I'll bring in a bunch of top Xbox guys. Thankfully for the 7, it didn't go crossplay. So congratulations on keeping your spot. How we've been, like, long story short, we've been telling people finish strong, and a lot of people have, and we recognize those that have put in the effort. It doesn't go unnoticed. Others not so much, but it's fine. From the words of Alex, it's June. Anyways. Talked about the 7, talked about Wise and Intellect. I want to take a moment, though, to shout out 2 waiting list members. Emin and Rich, I see you guys. I recognize you guys. Stay active. It looks like for sure one of you guys will be getting a spot next cycle. Anyways. I called out Emin, or not Emin, but I called out Intellect and Wise. There's somebody else we need to call out. There's somebody else we need to call out that I am very disappointed in. I'm very disappointed. I'm really upset about this. Like, I can't tell you how upset I am about this because I'm, like, really upset about this. I'm, like, so upset about it that, like, it makes being upset not look being upset. That's how upset I am about this. That's Beeman. Benjamin Beeman Begelman. I'm very upset with Benjamin Beeman Begelman. I've been saying he was going to go 16-0. And what the heck, Beeman? You're sitting at 13-2. You've lost 2 games this week, Beeman. I'm disappointed in you. Okay? Okay, like, ringing the bell of shame right now. Beeman, I wanted you to go 16-0. I needed you to go 16-0. I needed you to do that for me. And you let me down. You lost to Kanyu and South. I mean, those are reasonable losses, right? Like, they're top guys. So it's not like you were losing to Jeff, you know. I wanted you to go 16-0. You let me down. Like, I was really having fun running the Beeman Watch segments, but you let me down. Congratulations, though, to Kanyu and to South. Speaking of Kanyu, there were some bold claims made in chat. Those bold claims being that this is the year of Kanyu. I believe it was Chuck that made these claims. Fun Guy basically was like, Kanyu's here. Kanyu's going to the bowl. Kanyu's winning it all. I could see that. You know, Kanyu, early on in the cycle, I mentioned I believed that you would see a Super Bowl. And since Beeman's just let me down and lost twice this week, and he's failed to hit 16-0, Kanyu, I'm agreeing with Chuck. You're going to the bowl. You are Super Bowl bound, Kanyu. Congratulations. Now you just need to perform through the playoffs, right? Like, let's make this happen, and we'll get you to the bowl. And I believe last week I made the prediction of Doc being in the bowl, and I'm sticking to that. So right now, my Super Bowl prediction features Kanyu colliding with Doc. Who will win? Right now I'm going with Doc. Doc's my guy right now. We'll see. This conversation, though, about like Kanye to the bowl, Doc to the bowl, the night that we were kind of like talking about it and like Kanye to the bowl was suggested. My guy Jumper made some of the most ridiculous claims I've heard all year, and that is OC's going back to the bowl. And not only did he say OC's going back to the bowl, but he said OC is the best player in the league, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I kicked Jumper out of my cult for a couple of days, but I let him back in, I think yesterday or the night before or something. So Jumper's back in my cult. But OC, the number one owner in the league, what? That is dumb. That is ludicrous. Jumper like jumped out of a tree and landed on his head, and like he had a concussion or something when he made these dumb claims, because it's just not the truth. Like, I skimmed through the owners the night he said this and be like, okay, where would I rate OC? And honestly, I don't even think I had him in my top 10 owners in the league. You might be like, that's absurd, Bradley. But you know what? You know what? Screw it. We're going to do something. We are going to do something. What are we going to do? We're going to rate every owner in the league, okay? I'm looking at the teams bar and daddy leagues, and we're basically going to go off that. So, slow, okay? Slow, starting with, okay, so who's better, slow or freight? We'll put freight above slow, okay? And then there's P-Will, we'll put P-Will below slow, and then we have J-Mac, the most undeserving Super Bowl champion and elite, but also the most impressive Super Bowl run. Okay, let's see. So we have AFC North, we have Fun Guy, we have OC, we have Estrada, and then we have Jumper, and that's the order I'd put them. Okay, so, well, the Texans owner just got booted because that was intellect, but you know what? Nah, I was going to include intellect, but no, he's out. Wait a minute. Freight. For that team was that's not Freight, that's Young Watts. We'll put, but you know what, we're on Freight, so we'll leave Freight right there. I think that's a good place for him. Young Watts will be below slow. All right, so BGZ's interesting. I think BGZ can be good, but I don't think he cares about us. I think we're like his third love or something. So we'll put BGZ there. Doc. You know what? Doc is better than OC. All right. So, Bossman. Boss, I want to put you above P-Will, but P-Will beat you in the toilet bowl. So it is what it is. And you know what? He's had a rough go, but Bread, Bread, you're better than OC. You're also better than, you know what, Bread? You're better than Chuck. You've had a rough year, but you're good, man. You're good. Okay, Mex, tier 4 champion. Well, tier 4 king, but he thinks, but actually we got Slow better than Mex because Slow is the official tier 4 championship after he beat P Will. Congratulations to Slow on becoming the new tier 4 championship. Okay, and then we have the Chargers owner. Chargers. How good is the Chargers? Show. A lot of people hype him up as like incredibly good. I think he is really good. I want to put him above OC, but I just haven't seen it. You know, I haven't seen him be that good. So, you could make a case though for Show being better than OC. Okay, so switching over to the NFC, Jeff is just the worst. We're putting Jeff at the bottom. Jeff is the worst in the league because I beat him. Okay, so Giants, Alex. I want to put Alex above OC just out of spite. However, Alex has like moments where he just flips the switch off, right? Okay, Kanyu. While I believe Doc will beat Kanyu in the bowl, overall I think Kanyu is the better player. I would put Cobra above OC. I would put South below Fun Guy. Jew. I want to put Jew above OC, but I won't. And a big reason why I have certain cats like Alex and Jew, really the main reason I have them below OC is OC's got a bull. So we got to show a little bit of respect to the bull. We'll put me at, no, I'm joking. I'm trying to debate on where I want to put myself. I'm putting myself above Mex, Young Watts, P. Will, Boss, and Jeff. And then GPH. This is going to get me some heat. How high do I want to put him? How high do I want to put him? GPH. We'll put GPH there below Show. And I really think next season, next cycle, we're going to see GPH surge up this ratings list. Okay, so the Bears owner. I'm putting JTG on the bottom below Jeff because I haven't seen nothing from him. Like he hasn't made any noise in the cycle. Like I haven't seen him be active at all. He's just kind of here holding a spotlight. That's all he's doing right now. So he hasn't done anything. We're putting him at the very bottom. JTG, you're at the bottom. Congratulations, you're below Jeff. How does it feel? I hope you feel bad. So Debo. Debo is above OC. Lou. I can't put Debo above OC. I'm trying to be fair. As much as I want to biasly put Debo higher, we'll put him below Alex. Lou, though. You know what? I'm going to move OC up above Cobra. And I'm also putting Lou above Cobra. True talent. We'll put True above Lou. Okay. So Gumbo. We're going to put Gumbo right below me and above Bex. Gumbo. Okay. Beeman at number 1. I'm putting Terob below myself. We'll put him below Gumbo. We'll put him below Mex. We'll put Terob right there. And then the last team is the Rams, but Rams owner just got booted. So let's see. Okay. So rating the owners. I was going to number them, but that's too much work. Okay, so rating the owners. Let's see, where do we have OC rated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have OC rated 7th. Okay, so he is a little bit higher than what I originally was going to rate him, but we have him rated at about 7th best in the league. So I think that's fair. Jumper being like, oh, he's the best owner in the league. It's just ludicrous. It's dumb. It's just not reality. I feel like this is a more fair reality. So it is what it is. It is what it is. As we wrap this up, though, let's go to... Let's hop back over to Daddy Leagues and peek at this. So looking at the playoff pictures, it looks like the AFC, if playoffs were today, oh, that's interesting. If playoffs were today, it looks like Estrada would be it. Wow. It's a pretty close race, though. There's like Estrada's 8-7, and then we have BGZ. We have Young Watts 8-7. That creeped up on me. Maybe I should move Young Watts up on my list. We probably should, but I mean the list is already made. And then we got Jumper at 8-7 too. Looking at the NFC side of things, nothing really sticks out to me in the NFC side of things. Like, the NFC side of things is what you would expect. AFC, though, is an interesting race. It looks like Freight's going to be in the playoffs. So, congrats, Freight. That's exciting. I'm really excited for these last playoffs that we have coming up. I'm really excited for them. Everyone who's going to end up being in the dance, congratulations and good luck to you all. Until next time, peace.